Tijani, a Director of Global Women Ambassador of Canada. I am pleased to introduce Global Women Ambassador Canada, a leading organization dedicated to empowering women and advocating for gender equality globally. Through its impactful programs, it promotes women's rights, combats violence, and foster leadership across various sectors. The organization believes that empowering women leads to prosperous community with a dedicated global network of advocates and supporters. Global Women Ambassador Canada continues to make strides in advancing gender equality. Today, let's celebrate their remarkable work and commit to building a brighter, equitable future together. This program today, JAPA RAIT, is a huge project that will offer solutions to Africans and the rest of the world in migration from Africa, especially from Nigeria. Thank you for attending. I hereby introduce the President of Global Women Ambassador Canada, Ms. Kemi Amunshon, known as Lady K. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. And okay, let me turn on my camera because I've been busy all along. Hey, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from. This is really fantastic to have all of you there today. My name is Kemi Amusha, known as Lady K, as you know. Esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, members of the press, and our wonderful community, I'm deeply honored to welcome you all to the official launch of JAPA RAIT, which means Migrate the Proper Way, an initiative aimed at addressing the critical issue of illegal migration between Canada and Africa. Not only Canada, I take that back, between Canada and Nigeria, Africa, and the world as a whole. This initiative is a testament to our commitment to creating a safer, more informed, and prosperous future for all. Uninformed migration has had a profound impact on the lives of individuals and families, often leading to exploitation, human trafficking, and a loss of opportunities for those seeking a better life. The consequences are not limited to the migrants alone. The ripple effect goes through the communities and strain the resources of both sending and receiving countries. For Canada and Nigeria, for example, this has had a very significant economic, social, and cultural implications. It strains our social services, undermines our labor market, and creates challenges in integrating newcomers into our societies. Furthermore, it perpetuates stereotypes and misunderstandings, hindering the development of strong, mutually beneficial relationships between our two nations. That today, we are here to turn the page and write a new chapter in our shared history. Global Women Ambassadors Canada, through its innovative programs, is taking the lead in addressing these challenges. Our programs aim to empower individuals with knowledge, skills, and resources they need to make informed decisions about migration, while also promoting legal and safe migration pathways. JAPA RAIT, that is Migrate the Proper Way, is more than just a program. It's a movement. It's about creating awareness, fostering dialogue, and building bridges between communities. It's about recognizing the dignity and worth of every individual, regardless of their immigration status, and providing them with the support they need to thrive. As we launch this initiative today, I encourage each and every one of you to join us in this important journey. Whether you're a policymaker, a community leader, or an individual passionate about making a difference, your voice and your actions matter. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can ensure that migration is a choice, not a necessity forced upon people by circumstances beyond their control. Together, we can build a future where everyone has the opportunity to live a life of dignity, security, and prosperity. Thank you for your support, and let's make JAPA RAIT, Migrate the Proper Way, a resounding success. Thank you, everyone. So now I'm going to introduce our partner working with us on this project from Gato. Are you there? Prosper? Please, I'll be cross-checking if people are available or not because of the challenges we've been having with logistics. Prosper? Okay, please unmute yourself, Prosper.
I'm here.
Okay, so Prosper is the president of GATO, the organization that is on the field working with global women for several years. So I hereby yield the floor to Prosper to speak.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are hearing me from. All protocols observed. My name is Prosper Michael, the president of a global anti-human trafficking organization, GATO, a registered organization in Nigeria, and working in West Africa in the rescue of victims of trafficking, both male and female. Global Women Ambassador has been our partner for a long time, and we have been working tirelessly to see how we can end up this JAPA syndrome, where many people, end up in what we call modern day slavery in the name of searching for greener pasture. And I'm very happy for all of us here today that we are present to launch this program. It's a very big initiative that will give advantage to our people back at home, that we educate our parents in a way that their child should move wherever there's anybody calling them going out of JAPA syndrome. And this program is hereby launched in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. At the same time, please, can you tell us a little bit about GATO, what you have done, where you are at?
Yeah, the Global Anti-Human Trafficking Organization has been on the field of rescue victims of trafficking, especially on sexual exploitation of our girls. Many people believe just to travel to Canada or Europe is the only form of JAPA. And no, in West Africa, we have a lot of experience of these girls who are trafficked all the way from Nigeria, first to Cotonou in Benin Republic, which is their first destination, to Togo, Burkina, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, etc., etc. And I'm trying to create awareness how these victims got into the hand of the trafficker by, first of all, they recruit them from Nigeria. And when they recruit them by telling their family not to tell anybody, in fact, one of our experience one time was a victim came with a school uniform. This is how bad the situation has been in Nigeria by trafficking these children for sexual exploitation. And we have been on the field for a long time, very, very long time, whereby we have rescued more than 3,000 Nigerians with the help of Embassy of Nigeria, IOM, and Global Women Ambassador in repatriation of these victims. So we have been facing a lot of challenges, especially in empowerment program, which I believe as this program is going on, we are going to discuss this back and see what we can do more so that we can eradicate the syndrome. Thank you.
Okay, so to give people the visual representation of what you are talking about, let me quickly share my screen. Can you see my screen, please? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, we can see it.
Oh,
yes, yes, we can see. That's
Nice to see you, Nepe. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
so okay, here is I'm trying to see if I can make it bigger for everybody to see. Okay, there you are. That is okay. Okay, so you can see here. This is Mali, right?
Yeah, that's the kind of environment they take these victims to for sexual exploitation. At the
Okay.
same time, when you see a victim in this environment is forced to pay nothing less than $2,000 to free herself. Imagine taking a Nigerian girl to this environment and pay $2,000 before the person can free herself from the bondage of madam. If no help that can reach the victim.
And
this
place we are looking at now, they make these shanties with nylon, right? And this
yes, of
is
course.
a very hot area in Mali. Do they have fan, electricity, and everything in there?
They don't have anything there. Even to have water is very, very difficult for them. Very, very difficult.
And when they put these girls there, right? Like how many customers must they have in a day?
In fact, some of them may have 15, 20, 30 customers. And the worst part of it is that when these girls refuse to have the numbers of customers that they're supposed to have, they beat them up, because they don't meet the target.
They beat them up. And are these people just people they see on the street?
Yeah, probably some they met them on the street, some at their working place, especially those people learning the apprentice of hairdressing and tailoring, students also. They canvass them to come and travel out of the country for a greener pasture that, okay, they can make more money. So by the time they get to this environment, they are helpless and nobody to assist them. They cannot run away. The worst part of it is that they cannot run away, because before they reach just a kilometer, their group, their gangs already inform each other to attack them. And sometimes the security agency are helping them, the traffickers also, to send these victims back to their madam.
Okay.
So this is one of the things that they are facing in the hand of these horrible men and women call themselves madam.
And while you are going to the bushes to save these people, you equally get into trouble. This is an example of when your vehicle.
Yes. This one is in 2017. I was trying to, I and my colleagues, we were trying to go and arrest one madam, a powerful, notorious trafficker. And unfortunately, we had an accident on December 14, 2017. And one of us died in the process instantly. And a victim also was taken to hospital where she was highly injured.
Okay.
So that's one of the experiences that we have encountered in this journey so far of rescuing our girls out of bondage. Okay. And at the same time, these victims always see us as their enemies. And before we try to rescue them, we need to create a great awareness between them, at least confidence between us that, okay, we are coming to help you. We are not harming you. Because of what the madams have told them, that if they do this, they are going to imprison them. They have said a lot of things to see that these victims, they don't see them as victims.
We're going to come back to you because I know you have so much to say. Mr. Femi Odere, you are in the house already. I believe we can see you now. Can you please put on your camera and unmute yourself? Thank you so much for joining us, and kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, Ms. Kemi Amusha, also known as Lady K. Let me first of all greet everybody. Good afternoon here from Nigeria, everyone. And good morning or evening, wherever you may be at this particular point in time. My name is Femi Odere. I am the Senior Legislative Aide to the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Godwill Akpabio, on stakeholders' engagement and mobilization. I believe Global Women Ambassador, the organizers of this conference, decided to have me in as a participant, if not a spokesperson, if you will. I have one or two things that I can contribute to this. And one of that is the fact that I'm also a returnee. The returnees here are actually we are called Paja people. I don't know if any one of you has heard that term. We are all familiar with JAPA, but the people that actually comes back from their foreign lands are considered to be Paja people. Thanks to the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, which is headed by Honorable Abike Dabiri. I believe the staff of that commission are the one that actually coined that word. So that is, I'm one of the Paja people. Now, I've been in Nigeria now for close to about, give or take, I can't even actually remember, but perhaps 9 to 10 years. And that's one thing. The second is the fact that aside from this current portfolio at the federal level that I'm having, I also started my what you can call political journey in Nigeria from Ekiti State as an appointee of the former governor of Ekiti State, His Excellency Dr. Kayode Fayemi. I was the senior special assistant, that is, of the governor, of the former governor, on diaspora affairs. So because we are talking about diaspora related issues now, I guess I can be considered to have one or two things to say concerning this situation. Now, coming back to the subject matter of the day, which is JAPA RAIT, the right way to migrate to developing countries of the world. The idea of migration has always been with us from time immemorial. It is not a new thing. People do go out of their immediate environment, from their geographical locations, to explore foreign land for whatever reasons. And most of the reasons why people tend to go out is that for the most part, let's even take from the angle of the African continent and Nigeria in particular, is to advance our education, is to further our education, and that has always been the way. It is. But I can remember this Palo one to further our education. But the migration paradigm now, it seems to be has taken a very peculiar, if not worrisome, dimension. In the sense that, yes, we still have a significant number of people who are actually serious of traveling out of their immediate environment for educational purposes. But then we have another huge segment of these people who are still looking for economic value.
Mr. Dere, please unmute yourself.
Okay. All right. I thought you intentionally muted me.
No, I was sorry about that.
Okay. That's all right. As I was saying, so the idea of migration has taken a very worrisome trend. for several reasons. Now it is no longer business as usual in terms of somebody wanting to go and getting somebody to help him to go to the so-called advanced country. Because when I wanted to leave Nigeria too, that was in the 80s, I sought the assistance of a gentleman who came from the United States at that point, and he gave me direction as to what to do and all of that, and I did that, and I ended up where in the state of Illinois, and I started my education, and that was it. But it is no longer the case for the most part now. Because people fall victim, people fall into the hands of all these criminals, actually deceiving them that they are going to help them to get education in where they want to go, and they promise them heaven and earth, they're going to get them good jobs and all of that. And innocently, these people believe in them, these youths believe in them, only to end up uh, getting getting them into prostitution trade, just like Mr. Prosper mentioned. And as if that was even not bad enough, uh, they uh, they end up getting their organs harvested without their consent. And some people, quite frankly, have lost their life even without their parents or their loved ones back at home ever knowing that they had died a long time ago. So this is the reason why I said that the JAPA syndrome now is beginning and has become to be very worrisome, and that is just from the going end, uh, from the let's for a lack of a better word, from the receiving end, and that is that when they even get to where they intend to go, let's take for example Canada. Um, when they eventually get to Canada, just for the sake of argument, for the sake of explanation, these people will face another hurdle, and the hurdle of not knowing exactly what to do, and this has contributed immensely to broken homes, depression, homelessness, and all kinds of unpleasant and human experiences. And this to me is where um, the Global Women Ambassador actually comes in by providing information and to some extent to assisting these individuals to actually either make their living, their immediate environment to be relatively to be seamless almost, and even when they get to their desired destination, they can actually get assistance and further education and none of that. And that's why I would have to immensely thank Mr. Kemia Musho, also known as Lady K, and the entire organization of Global Women Ambassadors in Canada for this very laudable initiative and this vision and purposeful engagement of our youth, that if they must travel, there are better ways to do that. And I don't think that there has been any organization that has been willing to provide them with the necessary information and assistance until I come across the Global Women Ambassador. So, Ms. Kemia Musho, I thank you immensely for this. Now, I said I can be considered a Paja man, a Paja person, and I want the Global Women Ambassador people to begin to look at the other end of JAPA, which is the Paja people, because what do I mean by that? There are also people, let's just say, in my generation, because I migrated around the 80s, early 80s to the United States. I came back about 9, 10 years ago now. And I know for a fact that there are quite a significant number of people who have been in the developed countries of the world who wanted to come back home, who wanted to actually, because they've done that, they've been there, and they're just tired. They want to basically transplant, if you will, themselves back into their home countries. But then they don't have information either. They don't know how. There are some of us who are considered lucky. I consider myself relatively lucky to have been able to transplant myself back into my country, but it wasn't easy either. Don't get me wrong. Initially, I'll be like, am I mad? Am I crazy? Why am I even here? When I wasn't even nobody was driving me away from it. I wasn't wanted. In the United States, I could go back and all of that. But eventually, my friends actually gave me a support system that, look, no, you are not crazy. Just stay in there. Nigeria is a place that you have left for such a long time. We're talking about close to 3 decades at that time. And they basically told me that despite the fact that I was born in Nigeria, the fact that I have left for that long period of time simply means Nigeria is no longer my country. That I should look at Nigeria I should look at myself as a foreigner who's now trying to learn and relearn new things.
Thank
and
you,
I
sir.
took their counsel, So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I know my time is probably fast spent, but let me also say this, that yes, the government is aware of the issue of JAPA, and it's really worrisome, more so from the angle of our professionals, the healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, and all whatnot, who are actually migrating in droves now, and they are putting measures in place to curtail that. Unfortunately, time is not going to permit me to say one or two examples, but I can say the student loan bill that the president has just passed into law is another mitigating factor, if you will. That once it fully comes into full force, I'm sure our youth are going to now rethink the idea of wanting to advance their education when they can have that right here in Nigeria. So it's a good thing, and I have no doubt in my mind that this initiative is going to be successful. And I also advise that Global Women Ambassador looks very seriously into partnering with government agencies who are actually saddled with this responsibility of curtailing this very unfortunate situation that we're dealing with at this particular point in time as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I apologize, we don't have so much time in order to go around everybody. We may still have to come back to you later. Thank you so very much. Mr. Abdul Ganiyu, please, can you unmute yourself? You are speaking next. And after her, oh, are you there, Mr. Abdul Ganiyu? Okay, I hope, okay. Madam Josephine, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me see. Is your camera on?
Yes, my camera is on.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead and give us a presentation. And please introduce yourself properly.
Yes. Okay, let me just do a very brief introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, depending on where you are. But I'm from Nigeria and in Edo State. My name is Josephine Taluku, ACR Assistant Controller in charge of irregular migration, anti-smuggling of migrants, and child labor. I got to know about your platform last week through Mr. Prosper. Mr. Prosper has always been on ground with us. He has helped us to bring in a lot of minors and reunite them with their parents. But first of all, I'm going to apologize that I'm having another meeting with my boss, the controller, at 4. but I will try my best to be able to just do a little thing, say some things. For immigration, we are having the mandate to deal with smuggling of migrants. There are smugglers. We deal with smugglers, smuggling of migrants. So it's a trend that most people are not yet very conversant with. You know it. Most people know it, but they don't know that those are the people who call smugglers. When you talk about trolleys, you talk about burgers, those are the people who call the agents. They are the people who call smugglers. Those people who help to facilitate the movement of these people from Nigeria to en route to wherever country they are going to. So you hardly actually most times see the traffickers, but the smugglers are always there because they take these people to their destinations most of the time. Some of them pay to them, some sell their properties and pay to them to take them across to wherever their destination is. So we are trying to, right now, let me go down to my topic. My topic is fears and woes associated with uninformed migration. We all know, like they've been discussing since, talking about JAPA rise, JAPA syndrome. It's no longer a strange thing in our country. Really, migration is as old as time, like my last speaker just said, moving from one place to another. It's not bad. In fact, it is necessary for global development in so many ways. But it becomes a problem when migration is not done properly. That is going through irregular migration. That is where the problem is. Everyone actually hopes for a better life, and this drives us all to make moves. And sadly, oftentimes we don't calculate the risk. And one of those risks taken is the risk of migration. And because most people that want to migrate are either ill-informed or uninformed, this fuels the success of evildoers who exploit the unknown migrants. Irregular migration is a movement of to a place, new place of residence or transit that takes place outside the regulatory norms of the sending, transit, and receiving countries. That is, you just move out of your country to another country without being informed of what you are going to meet there, the woes, the tears. You don't know because you are not thinking about that. All you know is that you are thinking of the brighter, the greener pasture that you are going to see. But it's beyond that. It's beyond that. Especially when you don't travel the right way, you are going to be prone to a lot of woes on the way that will make you lament and say, oh, why do I do this? Even like Mr. Prosper can easily remember a lot of people he has helped us to return and what they have gone through. They have gone through a lot of things, going through unauthorized entry, some overstay visa validity, some use fraudulent documents, non-compliance with orders to depart after failed attempt to claim asylum for those who wants to claim asylum. And all these things, because they are uninformed, they don't know that there are modes or requirements for seeking an asylum. They don't know. And then residing in the country regularly, you are in violation, they are in violation of the terms of an entry visa or residence permits. Maybe employment in the country irregularly, have the right to reside, but you may not have the right to pick up an employment in that country because you may have the right to reside, but employment is not there. And some of these dangers they go through, some of these tears, some of these woes they face, like traveling illegally or without a properly informed, can be detrimental to them because they are the one traveling, taking the risk, and they have a lot of impacts in them. Some of them at the desert, they discover that they don't even have water to drink. they are drinking their urine. And that causes a lot of lamentation, woes. If I had known that this journey is like this, I would have been patient to travel the right way. Both the literate and the literate people, they go through the same process when they are desperate to travel. Some of them get sexually abused and physically abused too. And why? Because they have left without either the country they are going into not be able to account for them so that they can be properly taken care of, or those people on the way, we start raping them, especially the females and the tried female among them. They all go through all these woes that makes them lament and cry. I've seen situations where people sell their property, they abandon everything they have in Nigeria, especially in Edo State. Here, it's no longer a news. Some will even sell their houses. Some will sell they have a shop, they will sell everything, give it to a smuggler, take me. On the way, maybe at the high sea, some that makes it, some may even die there. Some, if they survive, they may not be able to tell what they've gone through. You also have organ harvesting, when somebody is taken away without telling their parents this is where they are taking them to. All we need to hear is that their parents will come and say they are looking for their children. Before you know it, some of them, their organs have been harvested. Yeah, you can remember there's a story of somebody who went to Saudi Arabia one time, left here very well, but getting there, one or two things took her to the hospital. She didn't know. They just drugged her and her organs were harvested. What is on causes tears and woes of this journey. So they need to be properly informed before they can embark on this journey. Some of them, slavery sets in, injuries, they get on the way. I've seen some, I remember when the federal government was bringing them, when IOM used to bring them early time for Edo State government, I was involved. Some of them came back dehumanized, some with one hand, some one leg, now walking on crutches. I used to cry at the airport for my people. I said, why? You left here beautiful, but now look at who you are. Some deaths, some die on the way. Most people died till today, you cannot account for them. There's a case here in my office where this woman for 18 years now, she has not seen her son. And this case, we have even forwarded it to our headquarters in Abuja. We don't know what to do to her, but she is saying she needs her child. She has gone around, dragged the people here and there. She cannot hear from her son. And they keep deceiving her, your son is still alive, going to different places to tell them that she wants to know if her son is still alive for 18 years. And that is her first son, the first child of her womb, cannot be found for over 18 years. But she knows about the people who smuggled that child from Nigeria to Libya. But those people too cannot provide the child. So we need to do proper information. In fact, sensitization into the interior. People are not informed. They need to be informed so that we can teach them. And I'm happy immigration is doing a lot now to be able to get people informed. And we have steps now that we are not telling them, before you want to travel, define your purpose. Why are you traveling? Why are you migrating? Like I said, we are not saying don't travel. We are not saying don't migrate, but migrate the proper way. And you must first of all know your purpose, define your purpose, so that you will not go and face all these tears and woes on the way that you regret from. Then you have to acquire your passport. Have you seen somebody traveling? Like the case I told you now is being investigated in Abuja of a woman who's saying her son for 18 years. So if you want to travel, you go to NIS, every NIS office, passport office, to acquire your passport, your international passport. Our passport nowadays is well prepared. You cannot use somebody's passport. Your information cannot be defrauded. It cannot be faked, because there are a lot of involvement in our passports nowadays to do. So if you are traveling and you didn't go to passport office to make your passport, then what kind of traveling are you going? On the other one, you didn't go to the embassy to apply for a visa to an appropriate country you want to go to. Then you get to know the information. I'm going to study. What course am I going to read? Am I going on scholarship? All those things are some of the things now immigration is putting in place.
Thank
So, well, Lady K, I thank you for this opportunity, and I hope that we keep interacting because we have a lot to say. We cannot just say it in 10 minutes. And I'm also grateful to Mr. Prosper, who has linked me to you people, and together we'll do better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. We really appreciate your time. And we are looking forward to working more with you because this is a journey that is not a journey of one day.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We have Madam Abike Dabiri in the house. Let me see if she's able to speak at the moment. Are you able to speak, ma'am?
She's muted.
Yes, I've sent her a message to unmute. So, okay. While we are waiting for her, because she's actually somewhere, she's just trying her best to be part of this.
Hello, ma.
Hello,
ma.
Yeah.
Hello, ma. Yeah, sorry, this is Abdulganiyu Abubakar. You called me earlier, but I'm taking some time to pray then.
Yes.
And I'm back from prayers now. Just want to let you know, ma.
Okay, so then you can go next. Where are you now? I've seen you. Okay, please unmute yourself and you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Is your camera available?
Yes.
Please turn on your camera too. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
You have 10 minutes. Thank you for today.
Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this very important event. Once again, my name is Abdulganiyu Abubakar. I'm the National President of the Network Against Trafficking, Abuse and Labor, NACTAL in Nigeria, and also the regional representative of the West African Coalition Against Trafficking in Persons and Smuggling of Migrants. Just to say that our network with branches all over Nigeria and partners across West Africa and other sub-regions is a national platform of civil society organizations working in the area of trafficking, irregular migration, as well as exploitation and abuse. And in the course of our work, we have interacted with so many victims and survivors of both human trafficking as well as migrant smuggling. So I consider this event very important and very timely for the benefit of our young people. And most of the time when we talk about migration, we tend to look at the negative side of it. We tend to look at what is not working. So that is why I appreciate this organization once again for convening this important forum to let us look at the positive side of migration, how our young people, how our professionals, how our skilled youths can explore migration regularly and then get the maximum benefit from it, just like other people come into Nigeria and then maximize their potentials. So it is high time we reduce the vulnerability of our young people when it comes to human trafficking and irregular migration. Mr. Prosper works very well with us. He's one of our partners in Mali. And I will start by saying that recently they requested NACTAL to support the return of 15 Nigerian girls who are trafficked and stranded in Mali. These young girls were deceived in the name of going to Europe, and they ended up in Mali. So this is one of the tricks of traffickers and migrant smugglers. And then sometimes they give our young people a lot of hope that, you know, once you are able to raise this amount, I can help you to cross from Nigeria. Once you get into Cotonou, your passports, your travel documents are ready. And then from there, we get you into Morocco. And from there, you can get to your destination. Now, this is how over 25,000 Nigerian girls ended up in Mali. I got these statistics from the ambassador, the Nigerian ambassador to the Republic of Mali. I was the one who led the team to rescue and facilitate the return of these girls, together with some NAPTIP social workers and the representative of the European Union who funded that activity at that point in time. So it is real. Our young people are being deceived, they are being trafficked, they are being smuggled irregularly across borders. Traffickers are preying on their vulnerability. So in addition to what the previous speakers have said, I will also add that our young people should watch out for the tricks that these traffickers use, some of which have been mentioned, but of course includes the opportunity they present to them that exist outside the shores of Nigeria. Of course, these opportunities exist, but how do you explore them legally and regularly? What are those documents you require to be able to travel regularly? I will encourage our young people to talk to organizations such as this so that they can get education and awareness, and then you can also provide them with support. We also have other organizations like the Nigerian in Diaspora Commission. I commend the effort of Honorable Abike Dabri. She was also in Italy with us last year, October, when we had interaction between Nigeria and the European organizations to further strengthen our collaboration. I also consider this event very important because a lot of our young people are migrating to Canada now. Let me share an experience of just less than 2 weeks. I had somebody who wanted to leave her job. She's so pressed, she wants to go. But I keep, of course, as a mentor, providing some mentoring, some support. At a point, she got frustrated that it was not working and I was not doing much. She believed I had all it takes to get her out of the shores of Nigeria, but I'm saying no, it doesn't work like that. So you cannot leave a good paying job and then make yourself very vulnerable. We will not want to be part of that. So these are some of the experiences we get every day. Sometimes I finish speaking in programs and then parents will say, oh, you have told us about trafficking, you have told us all the story. Please, how can you help me get my child out of this country to go and play football abroad and all that? So now these are the circumstances surrounding our young people. Yes, the country is tensed up, insecurity, limited job opportunities, uneven distribution of resources. All these are push factors. And then the pull factors over there, of course, the availability of gainful employment and all that. So in summary, because of the limited time I have, I want to encourage our young people, both those who are listening to us, the organizations who are part of this, to take this message. Yes, opportunities are available and it is their right to migrate regularly. Nobody should tell you not to go. No. But if you have to go, you have to migrate regularly. And then the best way you can do that is to speak with those who are aware. All those who have spoken before me and those who will speak after me are people who have been working in this area. And I encourage you to work with this organization that has put in this program together so that you can get enough enlightenment and awareness on how to migrate regularly and then how to prevent yourself from being trafficked and exploited. Once again, I want to thank all our partners, particularly this organization that have put in this together. And I wish that this leads us to a step where our young people will be fully informed and aware of what it takes to migrate regularly. And then, of course, ultimately enjoying the benefits of migration. Thank you all.
Thank you so very much. And thank you for delivering all your points in a very short time. Looking forward to a longer opportunity with you. Madam Abike Dabiri, are you available now? I'm trying to... Please unmute yourself if you are available. Otherwise, let's go to our lawyer. We have a lawyer in the house. And after the lawyer, we have Dr. Waka Waka. So Dr. Waka Waka, PM, please get ready after Lawyer Babalola from Toronto. Are you there?
Thank you so much, madam. Can you hear and see me properly?
Yes.
I assume so, right?
Yes, we are seeing you very well.
All right, thank you, merci beaucoup. I want to appreciate everyone for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. So Global Women Ambassadors, Lady K, good sister and friend, thank you so much. I only have 10 minutes. It's always a difficult thing for a lawyer to speak for 10 minutes in situations like this. I can go on forever, but I will do my best to just keep it within the 10-minute period. Before I go into my slides, I just wanted to say that hopefully today or another day, we'll also talk about the push factors, because my friend that spoke before me spoke about the push factors. I remember being in a conference like this in Abuja a few years back that was organized by the Catholic Church and NAPTIP. And one of the participants, a young lady of about 21, and I wrote an article about that. After all was said and done, said, I still want to go. I still want to be trafficked because I'm already dead here. So that was a very weighty statement to be made, and for her, because she had suffered all kinds of injustice in the country, and so she would rather take the chance of going through this risk rather than stay and continue to suffer injustice. We need to go into those kind of situations and deal with them, the root factors. The push factors, why people will say, I want to leave: the poverty, the globalization, the conflict and instability, the gender inequality, the social exclusion, the demand for cheap labor and commercial sex overseas, corruption and weak governance, lack of awareness and education, because sometimes we can talk and talk and talk, but if people are still not aware in the villages or wherever they are, they don't have that education. We don't go to the primary school, the secondary school to speak about this. We will not make a lot of impact. But again, I don't want to go into that today. I'm just going to go into my slide, but there's a lot to talk about. So within the next 8 minutes, I've spent 2 minutes now, Canada immigration. Like people have said here today, Canada has a lot of immigration options, close to 100, quite frankly. The issue, though, is that you have to take your time to find out what options are available out there, and then what will work for you. And then if you are not qualified for any of the options, then work towards qualifying. The problem is that there are a lot of people with the microwaves, mentality of, I want to go now. I just want to go now. Sometimes you take your time and work on it. And one of the things that the government can also do in Nigeria is to crack down on people who are not licensed, who are not immigration lawyers or consultants, who are also out there, preying on people, their innocence and everything. And they're all over the place. When you go to Nigeria, right from the airport, you see advertisements, you hear on the radio, you hear on TV. I think the government needs to do something about that. Otherwise, we'll continue to have this problem. So Canada immigration options, slide 2, please. Slide 2, please.
Yeah, trying to go there. Just a moment.
All right, thank you. So I'm a lawyer, so I'm not going to give any legal advice here today. So whatever I say here is just for the sake of this event. And if you need counsel, please talk to your lawyer, talk to a consultant, someone can help you. And then we can go right into slide 3. So we'll talk about welcome message. We'll talk about doing your homework. We can also skip that, madam, so that I don't have a lot of time. So I'm trying to. All right, so do your homework. It's very important for you to do your homework. You want to come to Canada or any other country for that matter. You're talking about UK, US, wherever you are going to. Spend some time. Don't just let someone say, I'm taking you somewhere, or I'm taking you to Canada, or taking you to the UK, and then you just say, that's it. A lot of people don't do their homework before they leave home. And when they get to the country where they're supposed to go, or sometimes they take them to another country, then it becomes a problem. And quite frankly, it's not about education. And sometimes we kind of assume that it's all about education. When I left Nigeria many years ago, 30-something years ago, I went to the UK. I was a young lawyer. But even at the same time, I did not do my homework. I didn't know most of the things that, were happening in the UK. And that affected me as a person. And there are many people I see in my office today in Toronto, Canada, that have no clue about what had been put in place for them. So, learn about Canada and learn about immigration options and who can represent you. I spoke about that. The only people that can represent you basically are lawyers when it comes to Canada and immigration consultants. And the difference between an immigration lawyer and a consultant, because some people ask me that all the time, is that a lawyer is a lawyer, somebody who had been to law school, who is educated, who's been called, who is educated in law, without, and who has been called to one of the provincial bars in Canada. Now, a consultant is someone who might not necessarily have any legal background at all, and but who had done some part-time training, generally 6 months training in immigration law. That's different. You can also be represented by a paralegal who is not a lawyer, but who also has some training in law. Or if you are being represented by somebody who is not a professional, you need to indicate that as well. Whoever is representing you must state in the application that they are representing you. Because I have seen many applications, many people have been banned from coming to Canada this day because they had used third parties who would not have indicated on the application that they were the one representing them. And then when there were some fake documents that were being provided, the clients or the applicants are the ones that will get into trouble because there's no proof that somebody else had helped them. So make sure you have the right people to assist you. Learn about settlement before you leave your country. So let's even say you get your visa and everything. How do I settle? How do I open an account? So work on all those things. I will skip Canada because people can read up about Canada. Is online, just make sure you go to the right website, canada.ca, and government websites. You will see a lot of information that will be very useful to you. We can also skip that. We have a lot of ethnic groups in Canada. It's very racialized, and immigration is very important to Canada. That was what the former Minister of Immigration has said. And Canada, brings in the best of people to assist towards economic growth and, helping this country to achieve, to increase in population, but not just population, but also for those people that will contribute economically to the country. Canada has a number of immigration programs. There are many pathways to coming here. We have express entry, we have skilled workers, we have the provincial nominee programs, we have the family reunification program, and we have permanent residents. We have to also say that permanent residents have access to healthcare and social benefits. So you want to come here, quite frankly, the best thing to do is to come here as a permanent resident so that you can have access to healthcare and social benefits so that you don't become a liability to the system and to yourself as well. Let's keep going. So the express entry program basically is based on a selection. Is a selection program based on your, you are a skilled worker. You want to come here to work. You're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're an accountant. Whatever you are. So this is a program that you need to meet certain criteria, which will be based on age, education, work experience, whether you have family members here, all those things. Very important. And then when you go to canada.ca, which is the government website, you will see information about this that you can actually plug in your information and know whether you will qualify or not. So that's one program that is good for professionals. It's also what we call the federal, skilled worker. We have the federal trade, skilled trades. We also have the Canadian experience class. All these things will come under the express entry program. Okay, so you're a plumber, you are an electrician, you are one of those. There's a special program for you called the federal skilled trades, but you have to have certification. So it's not enough to, to study under Baba Jacob and, as an apprentice and that's it. No, try to get some certification. And, this is where government can also help in making sure that some of these things are put in place properly so that when people are planning to come here, they have the proper documentation and academic background as the case may be. The Canadian experience class is for people who have studied here or we have worked here, have met some criteria as well. The next slide, please. I will wrap up in about 3 minutes. So, all these things, when you apply, you'll be ranked whether you qualify or not, based on your language proficiency, your education, your work experience, your ties to Canada, and other requirements. And then you put your information into system, online, Canada.ca. And then basically you will be invited to apply for permanent residency if you qualify. If you don't qualify, you can sit in that pool for next 1 year before you drop. And then what I would, I advise people is that if you are not qualified, find out why you're not qualified, why you don't meet the criteria, then go and work on it. So generally speaking, once you have been called to apply for permanent residency, it can take about 6 months for the process to be completed. Let's keep going, madam. Okay, so some provinces also have some programs whereby you can apply to come to Canada through some provincial nominate programs. So take your time, go online, Google the provinces in Canada and their different immigration programs. Just make sure you go to the government website. That's always the thing, because there are, 1 million different websites online talking about immigration. Not everyone, quite frankly, is genuine. So be careful. Go to the government website or seek for assistance from a lawyer or a consultant. Somebody can help you. And so the provinces also have programs, including Quebec and all those. Then there are also what we call the investor programs for people who have the money and the work experience to come here and invest, their money down. So we have quite a number of programs on that. I think my friend from Brampton has spoken to some of this and will probably speak to that again. So that's a good program for people. Those are programs that you can also take advantage of if you have the money. There's also a program in place for self-employed, for people who are into the movies. If you're a movie maker, director, musician, all those, there's a different program for that. And then they will have the rural and northern immigration pilot program. If you study, there are some towns that have been designated in Canada that if you study in those cities for like a year, there's a pathway to becoming permanent resident. Then we have the caregiver programs. We have the family sponsorships, meaning that if you have a family member here who is a permanent resident or a citizen, it's either your mom, your spouse, your parents, your spouses, your children, they can sponsor you. Of course, there are criteria in place that must be met for all this. Again, this is high level. I'm just rushing through all this because I only have 10 minutes. Then we have the study permit. For people who really want to come here and study, please pay attention. Make sure you have your documents. There have been an update in the criteria in place. Follow all those properly and make sure you get proper representation. And if you basically have things in place, you come here legally. There's a pathway to becoming a citizen, and it's always good to have legal status, because many people that don't have legal status, they're suffering. They're going through a tough time. They're going through a difficult time. And that's a major problem that programs like this and the group that Lady K is leading will be able to assist with. And I think basically, in a nutshell, I've just been able to just rush through this, and hopefully that helps. If we have Q&A later, then I can speak to some other things. All right, merci beaucoup. I think I went over my time by 1 minute or 2. My apologies.
Oh, you really did a fantastic job. I know so many people will be interested to hear more from you later when we have the Q&A, and then you can share your information or you can reach us to access him as well. So let me stop sharing for a moment. Thank you so much, dear lawyer. Let's bring in Dr. Waka Hughes. Dr. Waka, I'm sorry, Dr. Waka Hughes. Are you available? Dr. Waka, unmute yourself, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello?
Loud and clear. We just had a lawyer that spoke about how you can travel to Canada specifically. And here is Dr. Hughes, who is going to talk to you about what if you are not able to travel? And if you want to travel to other places, he has information. He has 10 minutes to shoot. Please go ahead.
Man, 10 minutes is just like, come on now, you already know. That's a huge topic, especially, first of all, guys, greeting, blessing to you all. And all my students connected right now, I see you guys. I see Rachel from Dubai. Hey guys, all my students from South Africa connected, good job. Hey, we got to give thanks to Sister K for this awesome program. I think Africa need that. I'm not talking only about, let's say, Nigeria or I'm talking about the whole Africa. French speaker, I got a lot of French speaker connected right now. We have people from the Portuguese side connected, the Spanish side. The program of Sister K, this global woman ambassador, is something important for Africa, very important. And we want this series to continue on the African continent, not just Africa, even abroad. That means like the diaspora. This is very important. I've been to 23 countries in Africa, French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Arab Africa. I've been there. First of all, I'm a professor, a university professor in the US, Canada, and I give classes also in Asia, China, and so forth. But right now in Africa, what do? Mostly agribusiness. We train African students. We take them to America to study agribusiness. Why agribusiness? Because it's the present and the future of Africa. It is. And the program of K mix, and it's very important to introduce the topic of agribusiness because a lot of people migrate out of hunger. People are hungry. I came here, I did investigation all across Africa, I collected data, I presented that in the US, the Congress, presented all those data to churches. We noticed the real problem is food. People want to eat, job opportunities. As you guys know, America, the strength of America is agribusiness, it's food. The same with Canada. Again, I give thanks to this brother to do an excellent presentation of Canada because I have a lot of students from Africa always asking me questions. Now they know where to go. They're going to go to K Global Ambassador Women Program for the question. It's awesome. Hey guys, again, I want to bring back the topic of agribusiness within this program, which is just an introduction. I only have 10 minutes, but again, the coming week, we're going to have a lot of series going on. I'm going to speak in French. I speak French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Chinese. Then basically, all my students in Africa from the French side, the Portuguese side, and the Spanish side are going to be covering this program of Global Women Ambassador because we're going to cover you. We're going to cover around 800 million Africans through this program. That will save a lot of lives. I want to give thanks also to all the leaders who just spoke from Nigeria about the crisis of immigration that's going on. All those women being trafficked, abused, it's sad, but we can do something. We have the power to do something, family. Let's get together and get it going. I'm going to show you something really quick. Y'all see these shoes right there. I don't know if y'all can see it well. Check it well. That's product of Africa. It's made by you, by young Africans. Look at this product here, this. All this. Those are snack fruit made in Africa in our agribusiness program and sold in America, Canada, China, and Europe. There is opportunities also in Africa. Immigration don't always have to be from Africa. Overseas, Africa got the best food. Guys, I'm here across Africa. I've been to Congo, Angola. I've been stationed in Angola for 3 years. That's why we build all these programs, this that fruit. Those are made by students from Africa, from Angola, and shipped to America. The first time in the history of Angola, the product of Angola being shipped. Food, I'm talking about food, fruit. That's agribusiness, my family. And it creates jobs and opportunities. And now you have a lot of Lebanese, a lot of Chinese coming, Indian, European, coming again to try to take the land of Africa to produce food. What are we doing as Black people in general from all over the world? What Africa got the best land, American investors to Africa. And they have seen opportunities today. They're making money. I'm talking Black from America who couldn't make money. I mean, real money in America. They came here. They make product from Africa and sell it. All these. Those are backpacks made in Africa and being sold in America. It's made by Africa and it creates jobs, creates money. Our young people don't always have to go and die in the Mediterranean and so forth. You're going to see a lot of people immigrating now from China, from all over to Africa, because Africa has the best land. Guys, it's just an introduction. We have a lot of topics to cover when it comes to immigration. I represent also Taylor Business School in America, based in Chicago, where we have brought and we bring a lot of students from Africa to study there. For the past 20 years, we have brought more than 1,000 students from Africa, French Africa, English Africa, Spanish Africa, and Portuguese Africa to study in the US and Canada too. Guys, there is opportunity, but we just don't want our young people to go down there out of lack of information and so forth. We want them to go and do the right thing. I want to show you this tablet. It's made by us. Although it's been like 17 years that we make those, it's made by our students. We want the young African to get to America to have the right skills. We want them to have the right tools. It's not only China that can make this. African Black people can make those. I mean, like here in the African continent, that's why we bring those young Africans to America to study. All those cell phones, I'm going to show you cell phone. You get to our school and you learn how to make those cell phones. We have the training for that. Those cell phones is made by young people. We want the people to immigrate. We want the young Africans to immigrate the right way, to go and get knowledge so that they can come back here in Africa and set up factory. Just like we make those shoes. Anybody can make those here in Africa and sell it all over the world. Our kids don't have to go and be slaves in Europe, in all those stupid places, man. Africa got the best land and all the resources. Every single cell phone in the world got Africa on it. Do you know that? I'm telling you because I'm a professor and that's my area. That's what we make. Where does the mineral to make those come from? Africa. Why don't we have factory to process that over here? While we have the right brain, we have the young people. African are the most intelligent on earth. Then our goal is to make you immigrate the right way. You get down there to America, you learn the right way, how to make product. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit out there. I got team. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, as I was saying, we want you to immigrate the right way, to learn critical skills, to come back to Africa and develop factory. This is a blessed land. This is the land of God. I know that. Yes, my family lives in Omaha, Nebraska, in the US, and so forth. But guys, I'm telling you, I live in Canada. I worked in Canada for the Canadian government. I taught at the University of Montreal. I work in Ottawa. all the northern part of Canada, all the chiefs over there, the native chiefs, they're part of our group. We have the largest co-op of agribusiness in the world, the largest Christian co-op. Then I know what I'm talking about when I say the blessing is in Africa, guys. It is here. I want you to immigrate. I do. That's why we brought more than 1,000 students to immigrate, but we want you to immigrate and get the right knowledge. Not to go there and be a slave, but to go there and be a producer, be a professor, to come back over here, do like the Chinese or the Jew have been doing. We have tools. It's made by us, not by anybody else, by us, by our core. All this, it's made by us. This is made in Africa. You see all those shoes, all this is made in Africa. Guys, I know I got my 10 minutes is running out. I just wanted to give you a snap, an introduction to what is coming up. Speak to your friend, join this program. You have to be part of the solution. You know why? The Indian, my friend from Canada who just spoke, that lawyer, he knows what's going on in Canada. Indian from India, they're taking over every university down there. Why? They stick together. They stick together. It's time for Africans to stick together. You understand? Join this movement, join our co-op, be part of it. You're going to immigrate. We have university available in the US. We have people who can facilitate you. We have, like Obama is part of, in the board of director of our school, Taylor Business School. We have people willing to give you the right knowledge. Thank you again to Kate. She's awesome. Man, God bless her heart to putting this program together. Next time, you're going to have speaker, professor who speak French, Spanish. We're going to work together. I'm a missionary. I'm a professor missionary. I took a sabbatical from my job, the government, just to come to Africa and train people to make all those products. That's why I'm here. It's a mission for me. Then this is a ministry. What this sister K is doing is a ministry. It's from God. I'm a believer. I believe. You understand? I believe in love in action. It's up to us to come together. Thousands and thousands can immigrate, but we have to immigrate the right way, family. You can come to America right away, start producing, start making money and help your family. Why? Because we have tools. Don't immigrate the wrong way. Join this program, invite your friend, invite your family. And sometimes you don't even have to immigrate. Do you know that there's opportunities in Angola? Do you know there's opportunity in Swaziland? Do you know Botswana? How many of you guys know Botswana? We've been making our leather from Botswana for more than 20 years in Botswana. But many people don't even know where Botswana is. Guys, join this program. We're going to train you and teach you what is going on, even in Africa. You could become a millionaire over here. I've been following a lot of people like Dangote and so forth. They made money in Africa. Africa is great. All right, guys, I love you. My time is up.
Thank you,
guys.
Dr. Louise. So they should be looking forward to the French version in 2 weeks' time, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say one word in French because I got French and Portuguese students connected right now. Mes amis francophones, je sais que vous êtes connectés là. Nous aurons une prochaine session où il y aura d'autres professeurs du Québec et du Canada aussi, de l'Ontario. Ils vont être connectés en français. OK? Mi hermano, familia portuguesa, que está en Luanda agora. La próxima sesión você vai ter professor também que fala português, ok? Deus abençoe. Força. God bless you.
Merci,
okay.
mon frère. Est-ce que votre frère est là? Merci.
All right.
Bye. Okay, so you stick around for questions and answers, okay?
Yeah, I'm around, no problem.
Don't run away. Okay, Madam Abikadabiri. Okay, you know what happened? She had to be somewhere. So she's been trying so hard from there to speak with us. So, so please, my apologies to everyone. She's actually with us, but unable to speak right now.
No, I can speak. I can speak now.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Okay, just
so how are you, everybody?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for putting this together. I've listened in and it's been very impactful. Now, here's what I want. At the end of this meeting, I heard one or two people talk about what government has to do. Government must play its own role, an enabling environment for jobs to be created. Because I also heard one of the speakers say people are going out of frustration. But if they know the dangers of irregular migration, they will not take those journeys. It's not good to migrate, but migrate regularly. Well, we're talking about Canada, but we have brought back over 10,000 Nigerians from Libya, stranded. Is the worst thing I've seen in my life. The cell situation, when you pack people like sardines on top of one another. But guess what? They're still going. So what makes you want to go on that journey? Hope and hopelessness. So what can we do? What you're doing is one of the things that we can do, which is awareness, talking a lot more. So thank you, Lady K, for putting this together. But beyond talking, I want the recommendations at the end of this conference so that I can present to government. But I know that the first thing is a lot of awareness. Then the traffickers, people that are, trafficking, needs to be arrested. I came to Canada. I went to shelters. I saw Nigerians in shelters. You know that 2 died in the cold. Why would you leave because you're looking for a job only to die in the process? So what can we do to put a stop to that? And I like what I've been hearing. I look forward to hear more. But on our part, as a government, the renewed up agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is determined to make Nigeria a better place to live in such a way that people will be coming to Nigeria, not living in Nigeria. We want to see Canadians migrate to Nigeria, not live in dangerous circumstances. It's okay to go, but go properly, go regularly. Like I said, I've been to Canada, I was at the shelters, and it was a very, 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 very sad situation. Seeing our brothers live in that kind of situation. And I want to appeal to all of you in Canada, those of you that are doing very well, help those that you can. So I'm hoping that, we're talking to the Nigerian community in Canada. There can be, what do I call it now? A way they can get information, A 17-year-old child, you send him to Canada without knowing anybody, without knowing what next to do. Again, in Canada, there are cases of four missing students. There's a mother who hasn't seen her son in the last 2 years, hasn't heard from him. She doesn't know whether he's dead or alive. There's a father, that case, whose child was killed in a nightclub. I mean, it was a security guard, but I'm glad that they've arrested the person. So let's see what you as Nigerians can also do to help other Nigerians that are there. So encourage regular migration, but go if you have to go, but go regularly, go properly. There's no point getting to the border, then you raise your hand and say, I'm seeking asylum. They will not give you that asylum. They know you are lying. So it's going to be a worse situation for you. So JAPA is not a new phenomenon. It's always been there. You can't stop migration, regular or irregular, but let's encourage regular migration. And secondly, know where you're going to. One of the things I also want you to do at the end of this is information sharing. Let those coming know the culture. What can you do or cannot do? So we have cases of, somebody who traveled abroad. In Nigeria, you can kill a pigeon anyhow, but you can't do that abroad. And that was a penalty. You tap a woman on the shoulder, she'll accuse you of trying to rape her. So what are the cultural differences? It's also important that we find a way of educating, particularly the young ones migrating. So it's been a wonderful session. I'm still listening. And like I said, I want the outcome of this Global Women Ambassador event. And as mothers, we have a major role to play in particular. We are mothers of the nation. Let's do all we can, not just for our children, but for any child that we come across. So thank you, Lady K, for putting this together. And it's been very inspiring and very, very educative. So I look forward to hearing more. And I look forward, like I said, on my part, to see what we can do as Diaspora Commission. And just to round up by saying that we have a lot of programs for you in the diaspora. There's the Diaspora Mortgage Scheme. Very, very soon, you can get 50 million naira mortgage. You don't need it, but it's a catalyst to have you invest in your country. Diaspora stages are coming up in every state of the Federation, in Abuja too. So you can own your own homes directly without a third party. We'll be issuing a diaspora bond soon. There's a diaspora investment trust that will be coming up. So a lot of things for the diaspora. I thank you for making us proud as Nigerians. DDK, thank you for putting this together. And thank you all the speakers and everyone. Thank you very much. And God bless every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so super very much. Despite your busy schedule all the time, you're always there to support our programs in the diaspora. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. And yes, we are going to go to Uche. Uche, are you still there? Because I know those who have left. Thank you for sticking around.
Thank you.
Okay. And after Uche, we have Mr. Daniel Atoko.
Okay, thank you very much. I will keep this brief and high level as well, because like I told you earlier, I have to be in another meeting by 12 noon. First of all, my respects to Honorable Abike Dabiri. It's good to have you here. Thank you for also being part of this program. We have hosted you in the GTA before now, and it was quite a successful trip. Thank you, Lady K and Global Women Ambassadors, for your 10th year anniversary and your vibrancy in supporting not just women, but the entire community at large. Programs like this are very beneficial. A lot have been said about migration, so I'll just keep things to the Brampton aspect of economic empowerment and also how we're contributing to support immigrants. Fast forward to being in Canada, because it's actually one of the most popular places to travel to right now. Sorry, I've been asked to choose my speaking language. Let me just do that quickly.
Speak English?
Yes, that is all. So if you are considering coming to Canada, it is important to understand that the Canadian government highly encourages immigration. There are multiple streams, and those streams are being updated regularly. Whether it be the provincial nomination, the local version of provincial nominations, whether it be permanent residencies, skilled worker programs, you come in as a student, you're coming in as on behalf of your company through intercompany transfer or through the startup visa skilled worker program. It is important to understand that the Canadian government looks forward to welcoming immigrants, because the backbone of the nation as it is designed now pretty much lies on new immigrants, especially people coming in with one type of skill or the other. And all the streams have potentials to make you permanent residents and citizens eventually. Brampton recognizes the importance of this, and we are contributing as well to open doors to welcoming Nigerians and indeed the world into Brampton. The Nigerian population right now in Canada is growing, and there's tons of support. In Canada right now, you have over 200,000 Nigerians. And the student stream is one of the most vibrant. Over the last few years, we've actually produced the second largest number of students into Canada after India. And right now, over half of that population is in Ontario. And all the provinces and territories have vibrant Nigerian communities that are doing well, that have tons of programs supporting us as well. So I would encourage Nigerians that are thinking of migrating to Canada to access information and reach out to these community groups. So once you land well, and you can migrate successfully, as we're taking advantage of these streams. Potentially, if you are a business person in Nigeria or even somewhere in Canada right now, you're thinking of getting your status in line, you're thinking of how you can begin to hit the ground running. Brampton supports businesses with various business streams. Like I said, I'll keep this brief and keep it high level. I'll share my email address later, phone number, so I can be contacted for more information. But there are tons of support at the municipal level in Brampton. We also access support from the province and support from the federal government. We have tons of programs, whether it be incubator programs or accelerator programs to support businesses. And also, once you're a business in Brampton, we'll have our Brampton Entrepreneur Center that supports small businesses with different advisory, including grants that can help you take off your business. Just recently, we supported 40 businesses with grants of $5,000 each. and it's a rollover project that we do all the time. So do well to contact me. Brampton is one city that is becoming one of the hubs for Nigerian citizens. We're currently about 6,000 Nigerians in Brampton. It's one of the largest deposits of Nigerians in Canada. And we have a municipal government system that is supporting Nigerians. Our mayor is Worship Patrick Brown, has been to Nigeria twice. We have a council that is prone to listening to Nigerians. And of course, we've got a lot of Nigerians working in the city. I work with the city of Brampton, and my job is to bring in businesses from the African and Caribbean markets, the foreign direct investment, or you can call it investment attraction lead from those markets. So you would want to talk to me should you have businesses or business ideas as well. So once again, thank you, Lady K. I'll leave things here. I'll share my email address and phone number so I can be contacted, and then we can take this further so I can provide you with tailored information and support your onboarding system. I am also the president of Network of Nigerians in Canada. We also have a support structure for new immigrants, and we tap into existing immigrants that are willing to give back or paid forward software to support everyone. So once again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Uche. And I would say your presence at the mayor's office in Brampton has really been very beneficial to all of us. And Brampton has become like the first home now to Nigerians. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, Mr. Daniel Atokolo, can you please unmute yourself and put on your camera? Yes, thank you. And with him, I believe that is our last speaker for today. Please, you have the floor.
Well, thank you. The weather has changed around here. It's raining. I'm in a garden. I've been waiting, but what do I say? The topic is most appropriate. I've enjoyed all what has been said so far. To start with, when we are talking of JAPA, and we're talking on how to JAPA right, by NAPTI balance, we look at it as a form of irregular migration. And there's so many risks attached to irregular migration. Number one, why do people even go irregularly? At times it's because of lack of information, lack of education. Again, there are several push factors, as have been said before. We are talking about unemployment, we're talking about poverty. Oh my God. We're talking about poverty, we're talking about insurgency, terrorism, the unstable government, lack of political discretion on the part of leaders. People have lost confidence in the ability of government to take care of them. And so they try to go outside the country, and the grass is most green on the other side is equally part of the problem. But what I only want to say is that since we know migration has always been from the time immemorial, let me repeat what all others have said, that we should ensure not to travel anyhow. I look at an irregular migrant as a thief that you just come from work and you find somebody in your parlor, you don't know he's coming. Because if you are traveling abroad and you have a visa, your receiving country knows you are coming. So they know that they are coming. If you have issues, you can approach the law enforcement. But if you go the JAPA, which is an irregular way, you can't even have recourse to law for protection by the law enforcement agencies in the other place. So there's so many risks with it. We have seen the way even in Nigeria, and it's so unfortunate that we used to hear about the organ harvest, and we thought it's something for the other client, but it's happening in Nigeria. At NAPTI, even though I just retired from there, we are really prosecuting several people who decided to play with the organs of especially minors, people who cannot give consent, people who have no idea, people who have been misinformed that if they call their kidney, another one will grow. We are prosecuting them in Nigeria. But what I'm saying is that if you go the JAPA way and you go abroad, and by the time you are there, you have left your comfort zone. You are so vulnerable and you can't even report to the law enforcement. How do you enforce your right? So many things are wrong with going outside irregularly. Everything is good if you go by the regular way. It may be slow and sluggish, but at least you are sure of your safety. You are sure that if you go, you come back. But when you go the other way, in fact, from the moment you cross the border, you are on your own. The human trafficker is a very dangerous person. The human trafficker is the one behind the exploitation of people. There is endless exploitation if you are a traffic victim. To some extent, if you are a victim of smuggling of migrants, once you cross the border, you're on your own to find your level. But a human trafficker will follow you and exploit you until you die. A human trafficker is not a gentleman. So all we know is that it is good. This platform is so good. This platform will be helpful. This platform will disseminate information. All of us who are speaking today will do it in our private and personal capacities and official capacities to ensure that the regular migration and the JAPA syndrome, from the caption, you say JAPA right. Try to go the right way and it shall be well with you. If you go anyhow, you see anyhow. Because of the weather, because of the elements that the rain has started, I will want to even shut down before my time is up because the elements have changed here. You can see around me, I'm in a garden. Thank you very much. And I thank you very much, Mr. Prosper, for inviting me. Prosper has been a very good friend of NAPTIP. I was Zonal Commander Lagos when I had contact with Prosper. Even as recently as before I retired last month, Prosper helped in the safe return of 4 victims of human trafficking from Burkina Faso, from Cote d'Ivoire. Prosper is a proper gentleman, and I thank him for the opportunity to know your platform. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And yeah, when I was looking at your background, I thought it was the usual thing we put. I didn't know it was natural. So unfortunately, the weather is not allowing us to enjoy your natural view now. But we are looking forward to bringing you back to be able to speak further, fuller to the people, to understand what we are talking about. Thank you so very much.
That would be a big pleasure. I like opportunities to talk about human trafficking. I like opportunities to tell people about the dangers of human trafficking.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's like people underplay it. They don't really realize it. And they think that it's only people who are not educated that get trapped.
I have had occasion to prosecute people who traffic 400 level students. I won't call the university because it will be stigmatizing them unnecessarily. 400 level students. And when I asked the lady, babe, why are you going? She said, grant no level for we end. Is level for your end? He said, I have 3 sisters. All of them are graduates. I know what.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we will have him back soon. Meanwhile, Dr. Waka Waka, are you in the house? Dr. Waka Waka?
Yes.
Guys, c'est pas vous, il y a un autre Dr. Waka Waka.
I'm here.
Non, c'est pas vous, non.
Oh, sorry.
Il y a une autre personne qui est Dr. Waka Waka. Vous êtes 2.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Waka Waka, are you there? Okay, so we cannot have Dr. Waka Waka today because he's a medical doctor and he's in Dubai, I believe. He may have been called on emergency. So if we don't have him today, be sure we are going to bring him next time. So meanwhile, I see a few hands raised up. We try to start and end our programs as early as we can. We will see if we can take a few of those questions. Meanwhile, Mr. King Wale Adesanya, are you there? King Wale Adesanya. I could see that he's been going in and out. King Wale Adesanya. Can you unmute yourself, please? Yes, unmute yourself. I can see that you are there. King Wale Adesanya, please. Okay, so meanwhile, we'll quickly take two questions. One is Nekwe.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm not, Lady K, you know, I'm not feeling too well today. So I just want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you so very much. You are going to, okay, thank you. And we wish you speedy recovery.
Thank you.
King Adesanya is the chairman of Nigerian Canadian Business Network, an organization that has been in existence for how many decades now?
14 years.
For 14 years, before I was born. Yes. Okay, so Nekwe, please, your question, 1 minute.
I wanted to throw my question to Dr. Waka Waka or Honorable Abinke Dabiri, if any one of them can answer my question.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. The question is, what do you think is pushing people to migrate out of the continent of Africa? Is it because of the lack of development or greed?
Okay. So Dr. Waka Waka or Honorable? Dr. Waka Pierre.
Yes. I don't thank you for your question, my sister, but I don't want to stigmatize the African continent. I won't say it's because of greed or I did my research in Africa when I was sent by the US government to collect data on specific problem across the 23 countries of Africa when I went through. Yes, somehow there's greed, but what created the greed? You know, we have to look at the underlying problem behind everything. Should we say it's colonization or neo-colonialism? Should we? But me, I was just looking at certain factor. Why the young people that came from Africa, because our church and our co-op sponsor many people from Africa to come and study in America. I mean, up to 1,000, but many of them didn't go back. This is why I was sent to investigate what is going on. And I had to present my research to the government and so forth. The main problem was when a student from Africa come and study, let's say agribusiness in the USA, after he study, he will make right away $7,000 a month. He goes back to Africa, he's not going to get any job. Of course, what's going to happen? He will stay in America. This is what I had to speak. Then I won't say, I noticed that in that specific area, when the young people would go back to Africa, they ain't going to get any job. Because in some country, you need to be connected to the government to have a job.
Okay.
In some other countries, there's so many factors. I won't stigmatize Africa.
Let's take this second question from Kolawole Fatima.
Fatima. Yes, Fatima from Ekiti. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, is your camera working?
Yes, all right. Sorry, today is my off. My camera is working.
Let's see your face if possible.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Don't mind me. I'm on my bed. I purposely left work early and just for me to be able to join this forum. And I really appreciate you, Lady K. And I want to appreciate Honorable Abinke Dabiri and the opportunity for me to get the access to this meeting today. It has to come from Honorable Femi Udere, who happen to be my very good father and loved ones, because he's the one that posted to Nigerian diaspora in the Ekiti State chapter, where I was able to get the link to join the the meeting. In a nutshell, my own is not really a question, but because right away I'm talking to you from Bristol. I'm in UK. I joined right away from UK. I'm in Bristol presently, to be precise. And what I intend to say has to do with some of us that are still very vibrant and youth. We have the passion to do everything possible to support our country back home. And we don't even intend. Somebody like me, I don't intend to stay abroad. I think Honorable Femi can bear me witness because I've making several moves. In fact, to tell you how passionate I am, I sponsored myself down to Nigeria last year, February, probably because of general election. And I could still remember, if Honorable Abdulkadir could still remember when we are holding the Southwest Traditional Leader Support Group for BAT. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We went to her, we introduced ourselves that we are from UK. We are members from UK who came home probably because of this election, because we wish our country well. And she assisted us, me and Honorable Tunde Duarte, as the APC chairman in diaspora. So Honorable Abdulkadir assisted us with some notable number of pass that we are able to go to National Stadium Surulere for the final mega rally then in Lagos. That is to tell you how I'm passionate about Nigeria. But the question I want to ask is, somebody like me, I didn't intend to travel abroad, but circumstances around me on the job, because I happen to be a banker before I left the system, and I'm very passionate about academics. So I have masters, I have MBA, I have ICANN as a chartered accountant. But all my bosses on the job, they were feeling threatened. They keep asking me, what are you going to do with all this, your certificate? But the dream I have then is for me to go back to academics. But now, I make every effort possible then to, maybe if I could be able to secure any job in any tertiary institution, maybe even as a graduate assistant or anything. But the effort proved about because of what? I'm a child of a very peasant farmer who doesn't know anybody from anywhere. So as a result of this, as a result of this, I look at my savings because I'm too conservative. I don't. The only thing
I'm sorry, we have to land.
All right, all right.
But
Okay, now
please let's connect after.
Okay, to summarize everything is, I want to, because by virtue of one way or the other, I'll be opportune to have interaction with Honorable Abdulkadir for 1 or 2 times. So I want to make sure that I want to ask, although she has been trying within her capacity, but a tree cannot make a forest. Even though within my capacity here in UK, I'm working tirelessly with DG Diaspora from Ekiti, who appointed by Governor Biodun Yebanji. That is in the person of Dr. Mrs. Fashuba. So I'll be joining his directorate to make sure that we do so many things that will make people who have developed that interest back home again. But notwithstanding, how can our government not prove us wrong? Because I do tell my colleagues here in UK that I've been in the UK since 2022. I've never seen anything.
I'm going to have to take your contact so that we can talk deeper later. And maybe we have to bring you in for a full program, sir.
All right. Our government needs to do a lot. Our government needs to do a lot that will not make people prove us wrong that Nigeria is a place to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I realize that you have so much to say.
I have a lot.
You have my phone number?
No, ma'am.
Okay, my phone number is out there, 437. I'll put it on the chat.
Put it on the chat board. All right.
Yes, I'm going to put it on the chat for everybody.
All right.
Okay. So let me yield the floor to Fumi.
I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for the invaluable contribution to our program. We'll be back next week or in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much for your support and contribution. Lady K, over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so very much. There are still some hands up. Please pardon us because we are 6 minutes behind. If you want to reach the lawyer, you want to reach Dr. Hughes, you want to reach any of the speakers today, and you have not been able to write down the number, just connect with me. I will give you all the information that you need. And in the next 2 weeks, we are having the French version. So I'll leave Dr. Waka to say one or two things about that to round up. But meanwhile, I want to thank all our guest speakers. They're still coming back. What you saw today was just a tip of the iceberg. Global Women Ambassadors cannot do it alone. Global Women Ambassadors need all the community groups, all the associations, all the organizations, because this is Africa-wide. It's not just Nigeria. Yes, we have 250 million people plus in Nigeria. Many want to travel. They have more opportunities. It's not only traveling that can bring you the resources that you need. So we are partnering, we are networking with different organizations that can help you. My number is up there. I wrote it up. Please read it. It's there. So there's so many things that you can do in Nigeria as of today that will give you the resources that you need. What do you need? You need mentorship. You need training. So you are going to have all those information from us. And those of you that want to travel to Canada, like we keep saying, just within the past few months, 3 people have died. Why? They were sleeping outside. There's no accommodation here in Canada again. You would think that that's a joke. It's not a joke. If you don't migrate the proper way, you are either setting yourself up for death, for failure, for violence, name it, anything that you can think of. That's what you are coming for. Many people have come and they have gone back. Meanwhile, they went back empty because they sold everything before they came. Now they have to go back. They realize what is there. Here is not a bed of roses. The grass is always greener on the other side until you get there. When you get to Canada, you realize that those of us in Canada, we also have had to pay our dues. When you are migrating at age 50, age 55, and you are going to pay your dues for the next 10 years, tell me what is remaining for you. So you need mentorship. You need information. Don't just do it and say, everybody is doing it, I'm doing it. No, it doesn't work that way. So Prosper, you want to say bye-bye to everybody? So we are collaborating with different organizations, and this is the oldest organization we have been working with. Gato. Prosper, you want to say bye-bye to everybody? And then Waka Waka will say bye-bye to everybody in French. Unmute yourself, Prosper. Prosper, unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody that has participated in this program. And I believe that we see you next time. You know, this is just the beginning of the program. We are going higher places, and we believe that we can make Africa a better place for us instead of our people going to JAPA all the time. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Thank you so very much. Okay. Dr. Yush?
Yes. Merci à tous les participants. Thank you to all my beloved brothers and sisters. Merci tous mes frères qui ont participé. Ça, c'est le meilleur programme que vous pouvez assister pour pouvoir immigrer, pour pouvoir participer à tous les programmes qui se passent sur le continent africain. Voyager aux États-Unis, voyager en Europe, voyager au Canada, ça, c'est le meilleur programme. Todo mi hermano que fala português e espanhol, que esse é o melhor programa para viajar, para emigrar, para os Estados Unidos, para a Europa. Semana próxima, 2 semaines, mes amis,